Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. We've got 4 great decks for you, including a ridiculously thorough and full Phoenix Force guide. That's right, we went back to Jeet's Phoenix Force document and updated with an extra playline for the new list that's going to be our main list today. But before we get there, there's Mr. ALA's War Picks, and I think this deck is ridiculously cool. Like, this deck is just a blast to play. It's a lot of fun. It puts out a ton of power, and it's got like 6 or 7 different play lines that all offer you really great ways to win games of Marvel Snap. Let's take a look at how to play it and what the cards are, what the replacements are. You can find Mr. LA at twitter.com/E with 5 underscores LA if you're interested. Nico, Pixie, Mobius, and War Machine are required cards for this list. That makes it a reasonably expensive deck. There's nothing for it, but luckily these are some cards a reasonable number of people have. Nico being a very consistent player in meta decks, Pixie being in one of the most bought, most recent caches, Mobius being a Series 4 card that was in every deck, and War Machine was thought to be this amazing card, so many people bought it. Cersei or Annihilus can be Viper. You can replace one with Viper. I do not believe you can replace both with Viper. What you lose by not having both is in the non-War Machine, non-Pixie games, you sort of want to Annihilus and Viper. You want Annihilus to get rid of that void, and then you want to, you want Annihilus and Cersei, and then you want to Cersei off that Annihilus and that Sentry or whatever to win another lane, so you lose the ability to really do that. So Madam Web, Quake, White Widow, Kate Bishop are Madam Web can be Quake, White Widow, or Kate Bishop. Any of those are perfectly fine. I'm partial to Kate, but any are fine. What Madam Web offers you is a really, really powerful game-winning Cersei to end the game. Again, on games where you don't get to drop Infinite for 20 power at the end of the game, you have the option of basically moving yourself using Madam Web a perfect Cersei lane. A Cersei lane that could be, for example, Sentry and Annihilus, and then you get a 5, a 6, and you have a 5/7, and that usually wins that lane. Or you can move a card out of that lane that you don't really want to get rid of with Cersei, etc. So that's why you really want Madam Web in this list. Madam Web is stellar. She's going to be in a lot of lists today. Buckle up. Hydra Bob can be Iceman or America Chavez. America Chavez gives you a little bit extra power. That's literally all she does here. But Hydra Bob's basically here because he's a 1/5, right? So, like, you replace that with some power. Iceman is disruption. That's it. Iceman is quite solid against, if you're still seeing that Agatha deck that was everywhere. I just watched Agatha all along episode 1. If you're still seeing that Agatha deck that was everywhere, like earlier this week, the one that runs Moon Knight and such, then Iceman is really, really good at disrupting what that deck wants to do. All right, so again, very, very cool list. Turn 1, you want Hood over Nico. Unless you have Demon or Draw 2 on Nico with Pixie, and that's better than Hydra Bob. Ebony Maw is fine if you have War Machine or Madam Web, but not a card you necessarily want to play now. Turn 2, you would like to drop Pixie, almost always. Once you've dropped Pixie, though, the turn order is sort of messed up, but Pixie is still your goal. And that's generally better than Madam Web. Turn 3, if you play Pixie, please play Mobius. If not, you're perfectly fine to play either Pixie or Madam Web still. Turn 4, you would much prefer to War Machine, generally speaking, because that lets you go Cersei in whatever spot and to Infinite, and that ends up being game-winning. If not, you're sort of just dropping Sentry. I actually find I'm having more fun. I don't know if it's better, right? Like, the obvious main way to play this is Pixie Mobius, yes, but like I've actually really, really liked the Madam Web Mobius Sentry play lines a lot, because then you go Annihilus at that point, right? And you should be like ready to sort of take off. So what you want to do is you want to go War Machine over Sentry, and then if you did War Machine, you want to drop unless you have a demon, right? Unless you have that Hood, you want to drop Cersei and just try and change a couple cards that aren't War Machine, see if you can steal a lane that way. If not, you can still drop Sentry. Sentry is still totally fine play, especially Sentry and Hood at that point, or Sentry and Demon at that point are both very strong. Yeah, and you can play Annie or Cersei as well if you played Sentry, depending on what you have. You would, again, prefer to Annie than Cersei. Then, turn 6, you would like to drop Infinite if you had War Machine, or you can Annie, Cersei, and Demon. And that's how you win. Really, really strong list. Again, the play lines where you don't Pixie are not as strong as the Pixie lines. When this deck really, really goes off and you get your early snaps is when you go Pixie, and then you get like a slightly cheaper Infinite and another powerful card, and you're able to just sort of go off. That's not going to happen every game, but when it does happen, oh boy, and you still have play into every other matchup. This is a very good and very cool list. Hela often builds really cool lists, so props to him for that. Right after this, it's going to be the thumbnail deck, which is the Jeet Phoenix Force. The Jeet Phoenix Force deck is, well, Jeet is the best Phoenix Force player ever, and we're going to talk about that deck momentarily. But first, one last look at this very cool War Pixie deck. Huge props for this one to Mr. ELA for coming up with it. I think it's super cool and super fun, powerful. All right, please hit that sub button if you're willing. We're getting closer and closer to 15,000 subs, which is our goal for the end of the year. Please help us get there. We need you to sub to do it. If you like the content, we bring you the most thorough and consistent deck guides in Marvel Snap. At least 3, but honestly 4 new decks almost every single day. There's 7 days a week of videos. We haven't missed a day in over a year. So if you like the comment, please return it with a sub. And if you want to help us fight that algorithm, a like and comment do that. In addition, I'll be asking a question this video. As you answer that question, you get to enter to win a season pass. If you're still looking for Symbiote Spider-Man, I'll be giving away one at the end of the week. So all you have to do is hit that. All you need to do is hit that sub button and leave a comment later in the video, like the video too. And then one video this week will come with the season pass. Then next week we'll be giving away 5 season passes, and the week after that we'll be giving away 5 more. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around. Finally, going live at the same time as this video is the Pocket Meta. You might be able to tell from the font that this is a Pokemon channel. It'll be linked in the description to this video and in the pinned comment to this video. It's our new Pokemon Pocket TCG that's made to be just like Marvel Snap, with like really quick games, really collection focused. If you're interested in checking that out, I'd really appreciate it, first of all. And second, please do click that link, give it a watch. Today's video is a look at the known differences between the classic Pokemon TCG and the Pokemon Pocket TCG that will be coming out on October 30th. So if you're interested, please check it out. We'll have another video coming out either over the weekend or Monday for you. We're doing 2 or 3 videos a week, every week. So we'll cover that game as thoroughly as anyone will, I promise. Check it out. All right, Jeet Phoenix Force deck. This is where we ended up with. The second ARANA came back, it was time to Deadpool again, because even destroying Deadpool 2 or 3 times with both ARANA and Hulkbuster in the deck can lead you to just a gigantic Deadpool, and a gigantic Deadpool, especially with Venom, can lead to a gigantic Zola play. A gigantic Zola play can lead to an awful lot of cubes. That's basically what this list can do now that it couldn't before. But hey, you also get an extra chance at Giant Phoenix Force. You get a chance at Giant Phoenix Force Giant Human Torch. You get a chance at Giant Human Torch even without Phoenix Force with this one. If you get like a Nico +2 and an ARANA on there and a Hulkbuster on there, and you can move that obviously with ARANA and then Doctor Strange, or ARANA, Doctor Strange, and Ghost Spider, Zola it, you win, right? That's still, let's say you go Human Torch, then you play ARANA when you Hulkbuster, right? That Human Torch is 5, 7, 14 immediately. Ghost Spider it, 28. Doctor Strange it, 56. That's usually a win. You've got a million ways to win, a million ways to play. ARANA opens this deck up a massive amount. And I think that Phoenix Force is really going to be super strong in the meta right now, because I don't know if you've noticed this, because as people were starting to really notice how big a deal Hela was, and I was starting to get messages about it, the day changed, and we ended up with a very strange, a very disruptive hot location. So as soon as that hot location goes away, people are going to go back to Hela, and Hela doesn't interact, and this deck does, right? This deck thrives when you don't interact. It has a million ways to just go way bigger than Hela. If you can make that giant Deadpool, Human Torch, or Nico, or just make a giant Phoenix Force, right? The opponent can't stop you from putting like 70 power in 2 lanes. And at that point, what can they do? And you have so many ways to do that in this list. We're going to go through all of them in a full guide. First, though, Jeet is on the Lambie Discord. He doesn't stream anywhere. Let's go over his credentials. So the season, Lambie finished first on the Infinite Leaderboard. Jeet finished number 2, but Lambie was never properly reset. It's entirely possible Lambie, who was at the peak of his Marvel Snap powers at the time, would have still been number 1, but Jeet deserves at least an honorable mention, since Lambie didn't have to do the grind. Jeet did, and finished well in number 2. He's consistently featured near the top of tournaments with Phoenix Force. He's generally considered the best Phoenix Force player in the game, and over on Lambie's Discord, he has a huge Phoenix Force document with a billion ways to play the deck and all the different tips and tricks you need. He is the Phoenix Force GOAT. He's currently ranked about number 6, I believe, on the Infinite Leaderboard with this very list. You should play it because this is stellar. It's also about as easy as the deck has ever been to play. Ghost Spider is absolutely needed for this list, but you can get access to Ghost Spider right now by buying it in a bundle. Ghost Spider exists in a monthly bundle. It's about $20, but $20 for a Series 4 card is not a terrible deal. Plus, you get whatever other goodies come in that, and it's a good value bundle anyway. ARANA is why we're playing this version. If you don't decide to get ARANA, then there is a version of this deck last week that's not as good, that doesn't have ARANA. Nico and Phoenix Force are, however, needed. Hopefully you have them. Phoenix Force is a Series 4 card that's a former Season Pass card, and Nico has been in meta decks for over a year. So ideally you have those 2 cards. All right, your main play line. First things first. In the top 10, this has a 57% win rate with like a 0.4 cube rate in 200 games. We're going to begin with the multiple man Human Torch Phoenix Force line. But first, I need to explain Weebuddha. Weebuddha is fundamentally G's like motto for this deck. It's saying don't just play things to play things. Don't destroy your multiple mana Human Torch without a plan. Don't even play them early. You should be passing turns trying to get opponents to snap on you so that you can explode and snap back and they can't counteract it. Be patient. The key to winning with this list is that patience. So please display it. All right, turn 1 to 3 are your setup turns, which means getting multiple mana Torch, destroying them, and playing Phoenix Force. At that point, you move them around with Ghost Spider and Doctor Strange, and then, if there's space, given multiple mana, you Zola it. And then, you win. Because, well, without any other nonsense, right? Like, let's go back a couple. Without any other nonsense, your multiple man with Phoenix Force is 8 power. If you can get 8 power, 3 8 powers, that's 24 in each lane, that's usually enough to win most games of Snap. That's usually enough to beat Hela, which will have one lane that's way bigger than that, but one lane that probably doesn't compete with that. But you can also end up playing a ARANA there and making some of those bigger. You can play a Hulkbuster there. You can get the 4th 8 power Phoenix Force. There's lots of ways to do this to make sure you win. And obviously, Human Torch Phoenix Force is just huge. It's unaccountably huge. There's nothing about it. Such that there's versions of Phoenix Force that play Living Tribunal because there's so much power it competes across all 3 lanes as one card, even if you split it in 3. That's not it. That's just the main play line for this list. We're going to go through many play lines. Next is the Deadpool line. So next is Deadpool or ARANA or Nico. Nico would be +2 here or destroy 2. Good? For the Deadpool line. There's obviously different things for Deadpool. Then you play Deadpool, and if you play Deadpool on 1, then you're going to Hulkbuster Deadpool. You can then, if you had ARANA, you want to trigger ARANA, or if you had Nico, you want to trigger Nico, right? Like, it's possible you end up Hulkbustering on turn 3. That's totally fine. You just have to Hulkbuster by turn 3 for this, usually. Although, if you end up Venoming on turn 3, you can then play Hulkbuster. No, you couldn't, right? Because you have to play out Deadpool again. Yeah, and you don't have an extra turn to destroy. So it has to be Hulkbuster by turn 3 if you're really going to get this going. So then you're going to either Carnage on turn 3 if you didn't get every single bit of the combo, right? You can also, you could have drop ARANA here. That's perfectly fine as well. You can Carnage ARANA on turn 3 because then when you replay Deadpool, you can ARANA, replay it, and Venom. Turn 4 is meant to be Deadpool and Venom. If not that, then it's turn 5. Don't be afraid to, if you see a copy Nico, get a second copy of a decent sized Deadpool. That's always pretty good. And then turn 6, you're going to either Zola, Deadpool, or Venom. So again, we're talking Deadpool that you can make a before your first destroy. It's a Deadpool that you can make a 3 plus 3, a 6 power Deadpool. So 1 kill is 12, 2 kills is 24, and then you double it, and then you should probably win, right? You can also end up eating extra things with your Venom, and then making that go in multiple places, which works just as well. So, like, if you're going to do the turn 5 thing, right? Like, if your second destroyer doesn't turn up till turn 5, your Venom doesn't turn up till turn 5, that's totally fine. Just make sure that Venom is what you Zola at that point. All good? Otherwise, you need to make sure you leave Deadpool on the board on turn 5 so that you can Zola it on turn 6. We get it? Good. One more thing. Taskmaster does a decent job in a lot of these situations, but it's not quite good enough. Taskmaster at 5 was incredible because then you could replay a huge torch as necessary, like a copied huge torch or whatever, or you could just Phoenix Force Torch and move it around and Taskmaster it, or you can just play Deadpool Taskmaster on turn 6. Since you can't do that anymore, Zola has replaced the card in the list. Let's keep going. That's not it. There's more play lines. Next up, we have the Nico line. Nico line is so fun. If you've played Symbiote Spider-Man, you sort of know the Nico line. So turn 1 is Nico times 2 or Nico copy, or ARANA. Turn 2 is Nico times 2 or Nico copy. Then you want to drop Hulkbuster on that, and you're getting a stupidly huge one. Turn 4, you're Venom or Carnaging. Turn 5, Phoenix Force. You can ARANA Phoenix Force sometimes too, which is hilarious. Just why not give it a little bit of extra power? And then you Zola that. Or if it's a copy, you just play another giant Phoenix Force to win. Really cool, right? Tell me it's not really cool. All right, the Nico line is like my favorite. It doesn't come together all that often, but the Nico line is very, very, very fun. All right, then there's the just straight up, the last line, the straight up multiple man Human Torch line. I think this one works better with Torch, but it is a multiple man line too. So turn 1 is ARANA or Nico buff. Then you can play Torch or multiple man. You can Hulkbuster the Torch or multiple man. Move it with ARANA, right? Ghost Spider or Doctor Strange. Then you can move it some more, and if it's Torch, you can then Venom it to Zola it, or you can just Zola the big Torch, the big multiple man, and they go all over the board. All good? So many ways to play this. Learning to play this deck well is learning to read when to go for what line based on your hand and what your opponent is doing. Snapping conditions. Turn 1, 2, you snap if you have the God Hand, and the God Hand is Torture, Multiple Man, Destroy, and Phoenix Force. You'll always snap on that, and sometimes you'll lose, but like you snap on it just because it's so easy cubes if it works. You'll snap early. We're talking turn 3-ish if you have Nico, Destroy, and Multiple Man specifically. If you can see what your opponent has and they're not running Killmonger or Shadow King, you should know the meta for this. If you can see that they don't have a hard counter and you have Nico, Destroy, and Multiple Man, you can snap basically whenever you see that. Snap always before you Phoenix Force revive anything good, and anything good usually means Multiple Men, Human Torch, or a powerful Nico. And if you have a huge Deadpool, Venom, Nico, and Zola around leading into turn 5, you should probably snap as well, because by turn 5, you should again know if they're going to be able to disrupt you in a way that's going to cost you Q. That's how you win with this list. This list, again, absolutely eats the face off. We're actually going to look at it while I talk. This list absolutely eats Hela. It is so good against Hela. The only problem you ever really have against Hela is be careful of if they have prio, and sometimes they do. They can mess with your Venom with their Magneto sometimes. So like be a little wary of that, but outside of that, like you should not have a huge amount of trouble with this, again, extremely strong list. We're going to go right after a little bit into a cool double up list that is also a really good matchup into Hela. We're looking for decks specifically that are going to match up into Hela. If you're not in a part of the meta where that's a necessity, give it a little bit. It's going to be one. If you need that Hela deck, check yesterday's video where we covered it. All right. Also, if you'd like to see gameplay for these decks, check out the stream team. Today is Thursday, so that means the great Parry Manilow will be streaming these lists at 6 p.m. Make sure you check it out. Parry also has a great video up already about a deck that we featured in yesterday's video, the sort of Pit Monkey Dracula dump list. So if you're interested in that, check that out too. GamingwithFlashX should have a video out later today of yesterday's decks too. And then make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for the Pirate King himself, Tuccrr. All right, Ika, over the moon, girl. Great name, Ika. Proud of you. Props. Oh my God, I didn't do top player thoughts. Friends, we're going to do some top player thoughts tomorrow. I have the top player thoughts. I didn't write them, but it's now very late at night. So we're going to save them for tomorrow. Top player thoughts will be in tomorrow's video. Sincerest apologies to you. We got a bunch too. So we'll do top player thoughts for ARANA tomorrow. We're just going to fly through this. My bad, y'all. All right, so Ika, over the moon, girl. Ready? This is a She-Hulk double-up list that also says, did you know move cards are really powerful even with only one move? You get a 2/12 dagger or a 3/9 vulture and you're pretty damn happy. US Agent's a 2/9. Sunspot's often a 1/6, 1/7. This is just saying overpowered, understated cards, let's win. You can find Ika playing this and other decks at twitch.tv/IkaMTS. He's chilling in the top 100. Ika's one of the best deck builders in the game. US Agent, Mana Weber needed. ARANA or Ghost Spider can be Iron Fist, but I suggest you have one of the two. Question of the day. What's your favorite deck name ever? That's your question to enter to win a season pass. What is your favorite deck name ever? All right, so This is strong into Hela, and in order to beat it, you really want to throw a priority. Cool. Turn 1, you want Sunspot over ARANA. Turn 2, you would like to play Madam Web over Goose. Turn 3 is Vulture with move card. Obviously, with Madam Web or ARANA out is when you want a Vulture on 3, but you'll play it over nothing, right? It's better than when your turn 2 plays. I would generally rather have Madam Web out than a Vulture out at this point. Turn 4, you would very much like to Moon Girl, and that's going to change some things. If you can Moon Girl either She-Hulk or Miles, it's going to change how you play the game. Turn 4 is also possibly a Vulture move. Turn 5 and Shang or Dagger Vulture move, pass if Moon Girl. Turn 5 is an excellent spot to just start throwing around a dagger if you can do it. If you have the double She-Hulk, you're just passing this turn. Then turn 6, you would really like to double She-Hulk or Miles and Shang-Chi. You can also play the second mover or She-Hulk, or you can Shang and US Agent, so on. So fundamentally, what you're really looking to do here is Shang and play 2 She-Hulks. That's like your ideal world here. If you've tossed priority because you just skip turn 5, you can basically guarantee a lane with Shang-Chi, right? Because they're going to bring back a bunch of big things that you're going to kill. And then double She-Hulk is big enough to compete in other lanes. And especially, and then like occasionally a lane will just be completely stolen by the absolutely amazing US Agent if they don't have Luke. That's it. We get it. We're good. Next up is a deck that Woody is absolutely crushing with, but one last look at this very cool Eco list. I think this list is really good. I think that like Dagger and Vulture just put up enough power to really let you compete with things. Dagger 2 moves is like 2 big Hela cards, right? Vulture 2 moves is just insane. Check this list out. I think it's really good. I think it's really fun. All right. Whoopsie. I might as well do my weekend review. I know what my weekend review is of ARANA. It's mostly a move card. It goes in several other decks, like several semi-move archetypes. So if you want to play move or move packages, you need ARANA. But if you don't, you can probably skip her. The warning I'm going to give you, though, is that I think smaller move packages are coming into the meta. You're going to see one on the very next deck we're going to talk about. So your weekend review for ARANA is she's very good, she's very consistent, and I think she's going to go in more decks than it looks like going forward. I will give you a experts review tomorrow. We're flipping the days now, sorry. And along with your weekend mission decks. And I will give you a final review in Sunday or Monday's video. All good? Great. All right, so ARANA, when is this Woody list? Before we go forward, this is also, as far as I'm aware, the exact same list Derek is playing at #1 on the Infinite Leaderboard. This list is great. This was made in anticipation of ARANA, and it works really powerfully. I checked it out, and it is quite strong. This is the best Spider-Man 2099 has ever felt, although I think I have another 2099 list for you tomorrow. ARANA is, again, just super, super strong here. So you can find Woody streaming at twitch.tv/YoWoodyMJ. Derek doesn't stream, but again is playing this at #1. Woody is currently ranked #2. So #1 and #2 players on the Infinite Leaderboard are on this. Derek was playing a bunch of other stuff that we featured earlier in the week, and then they broke Hela, and that other stuff had to go. You can't play mid-rangey stuff into Hela. So this needs Kitty, Wiccan, Alioth, Kate, and Web. Sorry. Ghost Spider ARANA can be Iron Fist. Let's go quickly back. The reason Wiccan is obviously really important here, right? Like that extra energy is huge. You need Kate for Wiccan decks, right? The ability to play Kate and then go 2+1 or 3 1s on turn 3 so that you go Wiccan is huge. This list really wants Wiccan, though. All right. Woody's win rate with this is 17-6, 74%, which is stupid. Again, that's not like some random casual win rate, right? That's a win rate at the top of the Infinite Leaderboard in a Hela meta. So huge, huge, huge. Also, that Hela list that had Wasp in it is the #3 deck right now. That's what Husky's playing at #3. So turn 1, you want Maria, Hill, or Kitty, or ARANA, and it's going to depend on what you have. If you need a 2-drop, you drop Maria. If you just need a 1 and then you need the hand space because you're going to Kate, you drop ARANA. If you just want to keep your options open, you drop Kitty. Turn 2, you Kate if you don't have a turn 3. If you do have a turn 3, you play Madam Web. And a turn 3 could be like a Maria Hill card and a 1. That's fine. Turn 3, you want Vulture or a 2+1. Turn 4, Wiccan, and if you're Wiccaning, please snap before, generally. If not, you're going to start moving Vulture. Then you play 2099, or you get your Dagger move ready. If you're playing 2099, 2099 just as an immediate surprise kill is insanely strong cube equity. You can play 2099 with, okay. If you have ARANA, you can play 29, trigger ARANA, play 29.99, get an immediate kill. If you had Wiccan, you can want 20.99 and Ghost Spider just fine. Or you can just drop 29 on a Madam Web, move it, kill whatever you want, and then still play like a Heimdall or an Alive. Any of these work and are absolutely freaking amazing. I still think 2099 could use a bit of a buff somehow, but I think that this is a very, very cool way to play the card. And then we have Heimdall or Alive to end the game usually. And if you have extra energy, because if you sometimes have 8 energy, right, Heimdall and Dagger is just silly good. I didn't think Move would actually work with Wiccan, but it totally does. The only thing about this deck I don't like, the only thing that makes me remotely sad, is once in a while you have to just drop a cold Ghost Spider on one, and it's heartbreaking. I hate dropping a cold Ghost Spider on one. But sometimes Ghost Spider is just, Ghost Spider is a little bugged right now, so sometimes Ghost Spider is just, oh my god, Misty Knight anyway right now, so I guess you're just playing Misty Knight on turn 1 in those cases. It still hurts me a little bit. Yeah, I stuck the number 1 and number 2 ranked decks at the end of the video, because again, I'm just trying to reward people who watch all the way through. So hopefully if you're watching this, you can spread the word. Like, tell the people in the comments, be like, yo, there's this insane deck at the end. I know, I did that on purpose. Cam's probably going to feature this soon anyway, and then, you know. But here we are. Okay, this deck rocks. Questions of the day. Question 1. Koi Ray asks when we'll get an activate counter. How and what card? I think we just get activate Cosmo. It might be one-sided, it might not, but I think we get activate Cosmo. Activate Cosmo seems incredibly strong. It seems like a priority-based card, because fundamentally, what activate Cosmo says is, if I have priority, I can stop you, and if you have priority, I can't stop you. And I kind of like that a lot as an activate counter. I think because it's face up and because it's already slow, the counter should require a little bit of work. I'd like Ozymandias, well, he's like literally classic literature Ozymandias, Tennyson Ozymandias, but he's specifically like Apocalypse's Prophet in Marvel, and I think that would be a really cool way to do it because he's countering activate, like he's prophesizing what to counter. And I think his stats are probably a 3/3, maybe a 3/4 when we get there. They'll make him a 2, but they shouldn't. He'll be like a 3/3 or a 3/4. The other thing to note, I'm not 100% sure we need an activate counter with the activate cards we have now. Hellcow shouldn't exist. The problem isn't we don't have an activate counter. The problem is Hellcow is completely broken in Hela. And I don't think we actually need to counter Black Swan. Mobius does that, right? I don't think we actually need to counter Symbiote Spider-Man. Cosmo still counters Symbiote Spider-Man. And I don't think we need to counter, oh god, that's all we have. No, I don't think we really need to counter, ARANA. I lost a game because my opponent unexpectedly played a Killmonger. And my ARANA, which I tried to activate to win me the game, all my moves fell apart. I think and then there's also Red Guardian, right? I think that's probably fine. I do think we'll eventually get a counter, activate counter, and I'm hoping that's what it is. Lunacris asks for Titania. Do you play her before or after the other Clog card? And the answer is priority, right? If you think your opponent is going to play in that lane and you have priority, then you need to play her. You need to play her second. Good, because then you're going to play that Clog card. They're going to play their card, and then their card, because your card is played, Titania sits on your side at the end of your turn when you're past priority, right? They play their card, now Titania is going to jump over and clog the lane. If you think they're not going to play a card there, then you play Titania first. And if you don't have priority, you always play Titania first. Good? If you're going second, you always play Titania. That's exactly how you use it. Hopefully that makes sense. Ryan Wood asks me for some meaningful song lyrics. So, just a few. Most Def's Sunshine. I don't give a fuck what, excuse my language, I don't give a fuck what brand you are. I'm concerned about what type of man you are, what your principles and standards are. And I love that. That's how I try to live my life. Pearl Jam's Just Breathe is really, really great for gratefulness, which, oh my god. How did I just lose this? I just froze. That's so fun. I almost never freeze in videos. My bad. I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love. Some folks just have one and others they have none. I don't want to hurt. There's so much in this world to make me bleed. I really love. And then there's Night Train by Bouncing Souls, which is goodbye to me and you, goodbye to the life we knew, one last long embrace, let go and walk on through. And I always send that song or tell a few of my favorite seniors every year to go listen to that song at the end of the year because it makes me really, really sad. Speaking of sad things, today is the anniversary of my grandmother's death. It's been 20 years today, and I miss her and I love her all the time. So I just wanted to. I know why. I know why I'm putting that in a video because this is the most people I could possibly say that to, and like I feel like it's good to put out into the universe that love and care. Hopefully, she can feel it somewhere somehow. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I'd like to say thank you to the following people: Abigail Kiesland, Mandatory Burnout, Cables, Irregardless, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, FaThorNewman. Check him out on YouTube and Twitch, please. Good Dog Gamer Inc., I Am Frostman, Jane Everett, Corwin, Rhymed Ryan, hey Ryan, Ryan Burke, Burke Avenue, Here Tixley, the King of Questions, Koirei, coming all the way from Japan. Hopefully he watched that thing I asked him to when I went to record this. Black Dahlia, Pyrofroze, The Goat Seeker, Dent, Matt Falcon. Check him out on YouTube. He's got like really great shorts with some of the best splits in the game. Quid Pro Joe, hey Joe. Docty, the king of new Marvel Snap card content. Ratnik, Mr. Kerfuffle. It's a kerfuffle. Great word. Ginger Prime, hey Ginger. Philip Rakovich, hey Ratko, hope you're doing well. Gotta reach out to you relatively soon. If you see this before I do, message me, please. Aplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone. Rob Silverman, The Bizza, X-Force V, and Skippy G. Tommy Nyquist, who won Snap League Season 1 and sponsoring current seasons. The King of Bros, Brett, Great Kazoo, Chess, Eka Gamble, Ryan Woodwoody, Kev Sihota, hey Kev, Luna Chris, hope you're doing well, Quantum Quinn, John Q, and Jimmy McQ, which is, we're in Q-Town all of a sudden. Clam, 8th Sage, Mod Supreme Models, The One Only Darth Vader, No Joke A, Joe P, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, and Jason B, Real Name Town, D. McDonaldinho, check him out on Twitch, even though I haven't seen him stream in a few days. The Fussy Dunlop, who never went anywhere. Hopefully never will. Spectrum Mix, who? Matt H, we only need one. DJ Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Ocularis, Mr. Craig Sterry, Seamus, hope you're doing well. Jonesy, Two Ties, miss you, friend. The Great Lauren Woodevs, the Pirate King Tuccrr, the Homeman, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for, I miss you, Grandma. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate y'all. I hope you had a fun one. I hope you have a great day. If you're interested, please check out that Pokemon video as soon as I can at work. I'll be at work when this goes live, and I can't post it while it's scheduled here. I'm going to link that video on this screen. So that video will be on the screen. So will another great Snap video. So if you want either of those, check them out. Also hit that sub button, y'all. It should be here too. Peace.